Hey everyone, welcome to the live show, Wednesday Wisdom, happening every week at noon on Wednesdays. Obviously, Wednesday Wisdom. Check it out, I have a new camera. What do you think? No more phone. Avoid the phone calls while I'm on live. And I was told there's a setting on the phone to block phone calls, of course, after I already got a camera. Whatever. Trying something new that will hopefully work better. The internet's working better. Here we go. Marty Forrest is my name. My website is Hello Extraordinary Life. Go there, and on the landing page, you will see, I'm going to put it here in the comment section where you can pick up your free guide. 3 steps to reprogramming your negative self-talk. It's redone. It's beautiful. It's extraordinary. I had someone that came along and said, hey, I can redo this for you and make it extraordinary. How about that? And I love it. It's an amazing ebook, 3 steps to reprogramming your negative self-talk. And it's simple, applicable tools, and it's a lot of information. I tweaked it a bit before we redid it, and now it's all finally complete. So check that out. It's also in the comments right there below, or well, on my screen, it's next to me. Anyway, I also offer a 7-week course. I have not set a date for the next one yet, but you can check that out on the website also. There's a landing page. I think, you know what, now that I say that, I don't think I've even changed it to be a 7-week. It said 6-week course. So anyway, it's a course about dealing. It's about building the relationship with your inner child and healing those wounds that keep us stuck in our past and stuck in the behaviors that probably today you are seeing and learning no longer serve in our life. And they're often created and developed for survival skills. They help us to stay alive and survive up to this point in our life. Probably what you're learning as you've been watching me a while is those kind of behaviors are no longer working in your life. They're no longer working in mine. They keep showing up, deeper layers show up, and this course is about building that relationship and healing those wounds. It's pretty amazing, actually. I created it, and I was looking back at a journal that I did in 1995. It was an inner child workbook. It's amazing to look back and see how far I've come and what I was doing then and how some of it still shows up. Hi, Charlie. So today I am talking about shining our light in the world, and I wanted to start with one of my favorite poems. I haven't really read a lot here, but I wanted to start with Our Deepest Fear by Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. What makes me emotional? It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in every one of us. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Let's take a deep breath. That's one of my favorite poems, and I read it, and it struck the core of me because I knew that was my biggest fear. Shining my light in the world. You shining your light. Most of us are so afraid of what people think, and then as we start to shine a little bit, we get the deeper layers and we start to uncover more stuff that shows up, and then we want to hide some more, and then we shine again. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about shining our light in the world. What does it mean? What does it look like? It's not about looking good all the time, and it's not about showing up. And I know how to present well. I've done it my whole life. When I got sober, I did not come in on a winning streak, but damn, I looked good. However, on the inside, I was dying. I was so dark and so abysmal on the inside. I had no idea how to shine, really shine. I'm talking about that light that comes from the inside and comes out of your eyes, and it comes out of your beingness. It's the way that we be. It's the way we glow. It's why we do this transformational evolution growth. I'm working on not saying work. It feels like work, right? But it's really about us transforming those wounds from the inside, layer by layer by layer. And every single time we do this transformation, we evolve, we grow, we expand, and we shine brighter. I don't always feel that way. I'm certain every one of you that join me don't always feel like you're shining. Yet, someone will come along and give you a compliment. Oh, you look amazing today. And on the inside, you're like, I feel like shit. So, I've had that happen. Literally, I'm not feeling so good on the inside. And someone else is still seeing the light shine. Because every time we transform something, every time we heal something, every time we grow, every time we evolve, every time we learn something, every time we have an aha moment, we're anchoring in to that higher vibration of love. And we hold a bigger space within ourselves. And then we can hold that space and we can liberate others and we can help them expand and grow and give them permission. We don't have to do anything except our own internal stuff. I can't do it for you. You can't do it for them. We can't help anybody else except ourselves. When I was struggling, witnessing someone going through a really difficult time last year, I wanted to help him and I wanted to do it for him and I wanted to tell him how to do it. And I read something and it said, all I can do is be the example. And that's what that poem is telling us. All we can do is be the example for someone else. We can't do it for them. We might be able to hold their hand along the way. We might be able to give them some insights, some tools. Unless they're willing to pick them up, nothing changes. There are so many of us that get into that trap, myself included, of I feel like crap, so I must look like crap, or I must talk about how I feel like crap. And that may dim us a little bit. But when we really get anchored into that high vibration, that bigger light, that whatever you want to call it, whatever your higher power is, God source, universal source, light source, whatever that is for you, the more we anchor in and the more we uncover and the more we transform, the brighter that is. When my dad died in 2016, as much as the grief was so present for me and people could see it, on the inside, no matter what I was going through, I knew I was okay. Can't tell you I felt happy, but I felt okay. And the light that comes from inside is us being okay with not being okay, maybe. It's being authentic with where we are, acknowledging it, and yet not staying stuck in it. Choose, maybe. I'm in this place of feeling depressed. I'm in this place of feeling sad. I'm in this place of angry. I'm in this place of whatever it is. It helps to give ourselves a timeline, maybe, so we can experience it, acknowledge it, and then move on, because we don't have to stay in it. We can choose to. We don't have to live in that space. And the truth is, no matter what I'm feeling or how I'm doing on the inside or how I'm being, I'm always okay. I used to think when my dad died, I had to learn how to become authentic in my way of being and my responses. People would say, "How are you?" And I didn't really know. I knew I would be okay, but in those moments, I didn't feel okay. And the best I could do, because I wanted to honor my dad, and I wanted to honor my grief, and I wanted to honor those feelings, was to be honest. And that was authentic. And the more authentic, whether people are comfortable with that or not, the more authentic I could be with it, the brighter I shine. And I don't have to stay in the conversation or in the space of that. I had a cashier say, "How are you?" And I said, I don't really know. I'm grieving. My dad just died. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Moving on. It was enough for her to acknowledge it, for me to acknowledge it. But we didn't have to get into this deep. It wasn't the place, obviously. That's not my point. My point is that I acknowledged that I had to figure out new ways to become real and authentic in my way of being and expressing. But I didn't have to stay in the conversation. There were times to do that when you're grieving or you're in your depression or you're in your what's the word? Transformation, your metamorphosis. Sometimes you're just in it. Learning to trust, look for the evidence of your whole entire life that you're okay. And you're going to be okay even if you don't feel okay. We always, always, always 100% of the time come out on the other side. We may not like the process of that. It's not always fun. I kept saying it's this big joyful thing. We always come on the other side. And we're always okay. No matter what. It doesn't mean I like it. It doesn't mean I enjoy the process all the time. It doesn't mean that I embrace it joyfully. I'm better today, but sometimes it's just not that. And that's okay. What I can trust is if I don't have my own evidence, I can look for other people. Because I've seen some pretty horrific things that when I look at my own life, it's pretty benign comparatively. And, if they can do it, anybody can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. If you can do it, anybody else can do it, right? So finding the places where there's evidence. How many times did you think you were never going to come out of it? Whatever it was, whatever the feeling was, whatever the experience was. I thought for sure if I started grieving the loss of my dad, that I would never stop. And it hasn't stopped. There's still grief there, but it's not right here in the forefront anymore. But that's true of anything. I was certain if I felt all of that anger and that rage that I carried for so long, that it would never stop. It's never been true. Not ever, not once. For me, it usually comes in small spurts. Probably because of my fear that I won't ever stop feeling it. But that's not true. It's just not the truth. The truth is we will always come out the other side. It's important, though, to write it out. It's important to be authentic. It's important to get honest with yourself. Because the more we do that, the brighter we shine. Whether we feel it on the inside. What is this life journey about? This journey about us here on this planet at this time, being a human being, is experiencing all of being human. In its glory, in its extraordinary, in its beauty, in its messy, in its ugly. Nobody said it was going to be a rose garden. I never promised you a rose garden. I hear that song sometimes. And it was never that. It took me a lot of years. I thought I could do this spiritual bypass. I just do the spiritual work, and all this emotional stuff will go away or take care of itself. That's not true either. The truth of that, what I learned, it's all spiritual. And there are no shortcuts. It's all spiritual. And sometimes we get into that label of what that looks like. What does spiritual look like? It's all spiritual. It's all beautiful. It's all messy. It's all glorious. And I thought that I could just do that part. Let me just go over there and do that walk over there and walk that road and do that spiritual stuff. And all that's going to just I don't have to deal with it. And guess what? We get to deal with it. It's part of being human. Over these years, so I become this emotional wellness coach because this is the journey. It's learning how to embrace every aspect of being a human being. Not a human doing, but a human being. What does it look like? What does it feel like? I've seen many now more spiritual quotes or memes on Facebook about this journey. It's not all lilies and daffodils and roses. It's not meant to be all Pollyanna, just beautiful. We can find the beauty in anything and everything, but it's about walking through all of it. It's about honoring all of it, and it's all sacred and it's all spiritual. And we're not going to always like it. Just a fact. Nobody said I had to like it. I get to learn, I get to accept it, and I get to grow through it. I say I, we, you, all of us. If you're on this road together, it's a we thing. We do this together. We help each other. We be the example for each other. The more we shine, the more we become authentic and honest with ourselves, the more we see those that are not, and the more we help them become. Because that's who we are. And that's what we're doing here. Part of our purpose here on this planet at this time as a human being is to learn how to shine, learn how to be bright, learn how to show the way for others to shine their light. And the brighter we shine, the brighter we shine. And the brighter we shine, the more uncomfortable it can be. Because it's unfamiliar. And it's not always, it doesn't always feel good. You know, feelings are relative, right? They come and go like the waves, they ebb and they flow. It's when we get hooked in them. Something happens and we get hooked in it. And we go down that road. Well, we go down that road because something got touched, some wound got touched, and it's time for us to walk that road and to shine a light in there. Maybe shine your own light in it so you can dig deeper and uncover another layer. Because every layer that we uncover, the brighter our light is. It took me a while to realize that. I read that actually pretty recently. By us doing our work, our transformation, our evolution, the brighter we shine. That's what creates the light. Wow, that's pretty profound for me right now. Because it feels so messy and yucky when I'm in it. It doesn't feel bright. It doesn't feel light. It feels quite heavy, actually. But it's about walking through that, right? It's about acknowledging that heavy and acknowledging that feeling. Because even in the midst of it, when we're just authentic with it and we just acknowledge it, someone says, hey, how are you doing? You know, I'm really struggling right now, but I'm okay. It doesn't even have to be a conversation, just an acknowledgement that I'm struggling. Somebody asked me one day recently, she said, how are you? And I said, well, do you want the truth or some I'm fine story? And she looked at me and I said, I'm really cranky today. She said, oh, is it just today? Did something happen? Or I said, no, actually nothing happened. I've just been cranky the last couple of days. She said, I get like that too sometimes. It's that simple. And I was grateful that I could just simply be honest about where I was at in the moment. I didn't spew it on her. I didn't take it out on her. And she acknowledged me back and came back for my order or whatever it was. And I heard someone say one time, how do you be authentic? How do you tell everybody what you're really feeling? I'm like, I don't have to tell them the whole sordid details of how I'm feeling. It's about acknowledging where I'm at in the moment right now. It's not about vomiting on everybody. If somebody wants to go aside and have a deeper conversation, that's another thing. Let's simply acknowledge. That's very incredibly authentic. Cashier one day, I said, how are you? She said, it just sucks today. I just looked at her and said, thanks. Thanks for that honesty. It was quite refreshing, actually. Rather than walking around going, I'm fine. I'm great. When I look at them and I know, you look at people and you know, the more authentic we become, the more we know when they're not. None of my damn business. But sometimes I say, how are you really? Most people know what that means. And they don't have to give me a full-on vomiting session, right? They could just say, I'm having a hard time. What do you need? Can I help you? Because the more we can do that with each other, we give each other permission. And the brighter we shine. Pay attention. Here's something for you to take away. Pay attention to people who like to be around you. Sometimes it's not really noticeable. We're so used to producing and having tangible evidence, either through a paycheck or, I know Charlie bakes cookies, so the cookies, he gets all these great compliments. When we're shining and we're bright in our world, it's not always so tangible. Like, you can't really touch it. People just know they like being around you and they feel good around you. Probably no matter what you're going through. But that's why, because we are shining brighter every day. And it makes people feel good. It's an energy that we share with them. And they walk away feeling really good. And notice who you gravitate towards. You're going to gravitate towards, you're going to gravitate towards people who shine also, or wanting to be more authentic. And the people that are not wanting to go there, they'll kind of just go away. Not away like you were in space with them, but like they just kind of walk around you. Pay attention to that too. I've noticed that people I come into a room with people, several people in it, and some of them make a whole wide berth around me. I used to take that very personal. Now I understand that sometimes when we shine so brightly, we shine a light into something that maybe they're not ready to see. Some dark part or some shadow side of them that they aren't ready to look at. And they kind of just go away. They go around. They go over there. Or if you've been in a relationship, I've had people actually leave relationships. Very painful. So just something to know, really. I just want to share that with you, to know that, because the brighter you shine, sometimes people, they aren't ready. They aren't ready for that. Anyway, that was like a whole lot of side note. Something that I think that's important to know, because if you all are like me, we take that very personal. We have a good relationship with someone and then suddenly it's not, and we wonder what happened. Because the more authentic we become and the brighter we shine, it disturbs other people's dark. And if they're not ready to go there, they're just not ready to go there. So keep shining brightly. Keep doing your own transformation. You are amazing, extraordinary human beings here on this planet to do amazing, extraordinary things. and to shine so brightly that we give others permission to do the same. Till next week, if you haven't picked up your free guide, pick that up. It's right there in the comments. And I think this was a good deal. All right. Make it a great week. Until next week at noon.